Who am I is an important question in the spiritual field. After Sri Ramana Maharshi, the question gained more significance. Are we the absolute Atman? And if you ask yourself inwardly, who am I? What would be the answer you would get?
In the spiritual world, the question of I am, who am I, takes an important role. Each and every science deals with the question. Especially Ramana Maharishi gives more power to the question, who am I? So everybody tries to know, who am I? Actually, what is the actual status of our I consciousness? What is the real nature of I am? If we take an example that we are sleeping, is there any I consciousness? So when we are in sleep, there is no I consciousness. And in the spiritual world, there are some state, samadhi state, transcendent state. And in this state, there is no I consciousness. Only in the waking state alone, there is I consciousness. Even though we are in sleep, there may be the chance of dreaming. In the dream, we have the I consciousness. So what is common in all these states, the waking state and dream state, which is responsible for the I consciousness? Our thought alone is responsible. The thought alone is consciousness. The thought alone is having the I consciousness. Only through our thought we are having the I consciousness. If there is no thought, there is no I consciousness. During the dream, we have the I consciousness, we have the world, we have the other persons. In the dream, actually there is no actual experience. There is no world at all. There is only thought alone. But in the thought alone, there is the I consciousness, the observer. There is the world, the observed. I am the observer. The thing I am observing is the world, the observed. So both are happening in the dream. It is happening in the dream where thought alone is in existence. In the thought, there is the observer, there is the observed. In the dream, there is the I consciousness, there is the world. So everything is responsible. So the thought is responsible for everything. The thought is responsible for the observer and the observed. If there is no thought, there is no I am, there is no world. As a coin has two sides, the thought also has two sides. The one side of the thought is the observer, the other side of the thought is the observed. The one side of the thought is the I am, the other side of the thought is the you or the world. So the observer and the observed are the products of the thought. It is a two side of a single thought. If you take it as a whole, it is a single thought. In each and every segment of thought, there is this dual nature, the observer and the observed. In the dream, there is no actual world. All we are conceiving is the imaginary world, is the world of thought, where I am is there, I consciousness is there, the world is there, the observer is there, the observed is there. But in the actual day-to-day world, what we are seeing, what we are perceiving, we may think we are having some separate existence and the world has some separate existence. There are many people around us. There are many happenings around us. I am the observer of everything. We may have the freedom to move here and there. We may have the freedom to control other persons. But anyhow, we cannot do anything without the help of our thought. The real thing is there. In the actual world, the real world is there. The real happening is there. But anyhow, even though the world, the happenings are real, we understand everything, we conceive everything only through our intellect, only through our thought. For example, we are seriously thinking about going for a journey. When we are seriously thinking about the journey, somebody may come and go near us. They may pass through us. They may pass in front of us. But we will unconscious about the passing of the other people. We may simply unaware of the happenings happen before us. We simply immersed with the thought. So we conceive only the thought. We conceive only the thing what our thought shows us. Our thought shows about the things about our journey. So we know the things regarding the journey alone. We simply ignore the happening. We simply unaware of the happenings before us. So in the same way, what we conceive through our mind, that alone is real for us. Even though many things, many real things may be around us, we cannot observe anything. We cannot observe each and everything. What our mind shows us, That alone we can understand. That alone we can perceive. So even in this sleep, even in the dream, even in the waking state, everything is same. If our thought, if our intellect shows anything, that alone we can understand. That alone we can know. So our thought is responsible for the eye consciousness. And once again, we can understand the nature and the formation of our eye consciousness in a different way also. What is the quality of our eye consciousness? What is the status of our eye consciousness? Do we have any quality? Do we have any status? So all our status, all our qualities are attributed only by the help of our thought. Only with the help of our thought, we know the quality of ourselves. We know the name of ourselves. We know the quality or status of ourselves. Without the help or intellect of ourselves, we cannot know the quality of ourselves. So the thought alone is responsible for the existence of our eye consciousness, the beingness of our eye consciousness. Considering with the eye consciousness, some reflective consciousness also takes the role. We have some reflections. We have some reflections upon ourselves. For example, we have a family. I see my father. When I see my father as father, at once I have some reflection. The seeing my father as father have a reflection upon ourselves, have a reflection upon myself. Thereby, we presume ourselves to be the son of my father. In the same way, if I see my son or daughter, thereby it causes some reflection upon myself. The very seeing of my daughter or son, it reflects with a quality, it attributes a quality, and I assume to be as the father of my daughter or son. So in this way, with some reflection, I understand, I recognize me as I am, with the quality. Otherwise there is no quality for myself. Without the intellect process, without the help of thought, I do not have any quality for myself. So the thought, the intellect alone is responsible for the existence of eye consciousness. But what is the nature of our thought? Can I have a single thought for more than a fraction of a second? All thought ends within a second. Each and every second, new thought alone can come. No thought can exist more than a fraction of a second. So that is the nature of our thought. So that is the nature of our life duration of a thought. But what is created by the temporary thought is also temporary. The I consciousness created by a temporary thought is also a temporary one. It is a momentary one, because all thoughts are momentary. It comes and goes away. It comes and goes away. It forms and goes away. So that is the nature of our thought. So in the same way that our I consciousness also comes and goes eternally. There is no permanency. Each and everything, every time, there is only a new thought. There is no old thought. No thought can come again and again. Even though it may have the same meaning, each and every time it is a new thought. As smoke comes from an incense stick, our thought comes from us, from our consciousness. Each and every moment, new thought arises. And thought goes away, comes and goes away endlessly. There is no continuity between one thought and other thought. Because no thought is responsible for the new thought. The old thought does not bring the new thought. Old thought comes and goes and vanished away, and new thought comes on its own. The old thought does not create the new thought. So the old thought is not responsible for the new thought. So there is no continuity in the natural course. Only because of our memory pattern, only because of our memory, we establish a continuity in thoughts, in our feelings. So thereby, we have the feeling of I consciousness continue forever. So our memory pattern is responsible for the continuity of I consciousness. But our memory pattern is a dead thing. Our thought alone is in life. So each and every moment, the I consciousness is new. There is no past for our I consciousness. There is no future for our I consciousness. It comes and ends. That is the nature of our I consciousness. But anyhow, we assume that we must realize our I consciousness. We must realize our I consciousness as the Atman. We must realize our I consciousness as the eternal being. So it is not correct. So it is the nature of our I consciousness to come and go. We should not rely upon our I consciousness. We have to allow our I consciousness to come and go. That is the real freedom of our I consciousness. If it tries to establish a continuity, if it tries to establish a permanency, that is the problem. If you try to find out a idea that I am Atman, I am Brahman, that is a misleading one. Thereby we give strength to our memory. Thereby we give strength to our illusion that I am a permanent person. But it is impermanent one. So what is important is to understand the impermanency of our I consciousness. So if you understand the impermanency of our I consciousness, it is considered just like a shadow. We need not worry about that. It comes and goes. There is no formation. The formation is not important. The destruction is not also important. Both is same. The forming and disappearing all same. There is no difference between the appearing and disappearance. So if you understand the real nature of our I consciousness, we will no longer give importance to the I consciousness in the name of Atman or any other thing. But the Atman is our pure consciousness. The real nature of our consciousness is in the pure level. It may be permanent, but we need not worry about that. But it has no quality at all. Our consciousness is innocent. It has no quality. It is a plain paper. It is a tasteless tongue. It has no expression on its own. It is the unexpressed portion. It is an unconscious happening. But what is happening is only the temporary phenomena, only the happenings of our intellect phenomena, only the happening of our thought. It is only an expression. As all other expression, the I consciousness is also a kind of expression. As every kind of expression, the I consciousness also must come and go. We need not correct our I consciousness. We need not eliminate our I consciousness. As we need not eliminate our experiences, we need not eliminate our I consciousness. There is no disparity with regarding to the observer and the observed. Both are same. They are temporary. They are a temporary phenomena. They come and go as its own. We need not worry about that. If you do not worry about that, the I consciousness becomes powerless. So if you are not a permanent one, then who am I? If you are not the thought, then who am I? Then who is really am I? The unconscious state of our consciousness is the real status of ourselves. It is the existence of ourselves. But we need not worry about that. The thing which is having worry is our intellect part. So it is an unnecessary worry. There is no real concern with our I consciousness. It is not the real concern. So we need not worry about the topic at all. So the consciousness is always safe. It is always unconscious. It is always divine and pure. We need not worry about at all. But only because of our I consciousness, only because of our qualified I consciousness through our thought and intellect, we have a structure for ourselves. Only because of our structure for ourselves, we separate ourselves as an individual identity. But we need not worry about that. It is also a temporary one. It comes and goes. We need not worry about the temporary phenomena. If we do not concern with the temporary phenomena, everything is okay. The consciousness is okay.